Multivalent formulas are formulas where there is more than one combining capacity when you look up the element on the periodic table. These names are written with a Roman numeral in them. The Roman numeral tells you the charge that will be on the metal. In our first example, copper 2 chloride, the 2, which I am circling, tells you that copper is +2. Symbol for copper is Cu. Look up chlorine, you'll find it is a -1 with the symbol Cl. Do your crisscross like before. The 2 is going to come down here to the end of the chlorine, so CuCl2 is my final formula. The 1 above the chlorine can be crisscrossed, but you do not write the 1, so a 1 does not appear in the CuCl2 formula. Tin 4 oxide, the Roman numeral 4, which I've just circled, goes with the tin, so I'm going to put a +4 as its charge. The symbol for tin is Sm. I will look up oxygen, I'll find it's -2, and it is an O. When I do my crisscross, just like in the past, the 2 will come here, and the 4 will go to the end of the oxygen here. When you have a number with a 2 and a 4, this can be reduced into lowest terms, so SnO2 is my correct formula for tin 4 oxide. When naming, you must choose the Roman numeral and write it in the name. So my first two examples will both work out to be iron oxide. I'm leaving a space in the middle so that I could put the Roman numeral in once I have chosen it. I go to iron on my periodic table. I find that it is +3 or +2. Oxygen is a -2. I want to pick the Roman numeral that balances out the negative charge. So if I have -2 here, I will choose Roman numeral +2. In my next example, I have the same charges to work with. Iron can be 3 or 2, but oxygen is -2. In this case, I need to do some cross multiply. When I have two numbers on this end, these work out to be -6 if I times them together. If I use the Roman numeral 2 and multiply 2 times 2, I will get +4. Okay, that will not work. That is not the correct one for this formula, so I'm just going to cross that out, and I'm going to try the 3. 3 times 2 here makes +6. Okay, 3 is a match, so I'm going to put Roman numeral 3. You can't write in Roman numeral 6 because it is not one of the charges for iron on the periodic table. My next example is tin oxide. I've left a space for my Roman numeral. I go to look up tin on my table. I can have +4 or +2. I go to look up oxygen, which is -2. Again, I have two numbers here on this side, so I need to multiply them to make -4, which means if I'm choosing a Roman numeral, my correct choice will be tin +4. And my last example is nickel phosphide. If I look up nickel, I can have a charge of +3 or +2 from my periodic table, and phosphorus is a -3. There's no numbers written under here, which means that this -3 was exactly balanced by this +3. Okay, the +3 is the one that I will write for the Roman numeral. And there you have choosing Roman numerals.